Imagine two of North America's closest allies, locked in a battle not over borders or bullets, but over dishwashers, fish, and cosmetics. Canada has just slapped 50% tariffs on billions of U.S. goods, retaliation for Trump-era trade policies, but the real fight runs deeper. This is no ordinary trade spat. It's a 21st century Cold War clash, where technology and espionage are the new battlegrounds. With over $20 billion in U.S. imports now taxed, the ripple effects touch everything from your morning coffee to your weekend hiking gear. But why would Canada risk souring one of its largest trade partners? What's really at stake beneath the tariffs? As global powers jockey for influence, this conflict reveals how economic moves can mask high-stakes geopolitical games. What started as a trade war is becoming something far more complex, and the next move could reshape the continent's future. In 2024, Canada unleashed a sweeping response to U.S. tariffs, imposing up to 50% duties on $20 billion in American goods. The move targeted key industries, including dairy, cosmetics, and outdoor equipment. A recent report from the New York Times found that these tariffs were aimed at protecting Canadian workers and producers, as Washington had previously levied similar duties on Canadian exports like wine and furniture. Consider the ripple effect. Aluminum foil, dishwashers, and even fish were among the products caught in the crossfire. Meanwhile, a 2023 report to Congress noted ongoing trade tensions, highlighting how these disputes strain economic ties. The Canadian government rolled out aid for affected businesses, matching Washington's duties dollar for dollar. Look at the outdoor gear sector. Companies like Patagonia and the North Face suddenly faced higher costs as Canadian tariffs took effect. This wasn't just a symbolic gesture. It marked a significant escalation in a trade conflict with real-world consequences. As tariffs climb, the question remains, how long can this standoff last? The Cold War wasn't just a standoff between missiles and silos. It was a race to control the future through science and innovation. Today's trade wars, like Canada's recent 50% tariffs on U.S. goods ranging from aluminum to fish, echo that same struggle, but with supply chains as the battlefield. Canada announced these tariffs in response to Trump-era duties that targeted $20 billion in Canadian exports, including wine and furniture. Just as the U.S. and USSR once vied for dominance in space and computing, modern nations now fight for control over manufacturing and green technologies. A recent report found that Canada's retaliatory measures aim to shield its producers while sending a message. Economic leverage is a new kind of geopolitical weapon. Consider the 2023 report to Congress, which highlighted how global competition for tech supremacy remains as fierce as ever. The Cold War may be over, but its shadow stretches into today's trade tensions. And as tariffs rise, so does the question, who's really building tomorrow? Canada's recent 50% tariffs on U.S. goods like aluminum, dairy, and outdoor equipment aren't just about economics. They are a calculated geopolitical maneuver. A recent report found these duties target over $20 billion in American imports, directly countering Trump-era levies that threatened Canadian industries. Consider the ripple effect. By raising costs on U.S. products, Ottawa pressures Washington to rethink trade policies that favor domestic producers. This isn't the first time trade has been weaponized. In 2023, U.S. tariffs on Canadian wine and furniture strained relations, prompting Ottawa's latest response. The stakes extend beyond borders. In tech and manufacturing, control over supply chains determines influence. When Canada imposes tariffs, it's not just defending its own workers, it's reshaping the balance of power in North American trade ecosystems. As tensions rise, the battlefield shifts from negotiations to border tariffs, each move a bid for leverage. This strategy sets the stage for a broader conversation about how nations use economic tools to assert global influence. Aluminum foil might seem like a mundane household item, but its inclusion in Canada's tariff list is anything but. During the Cold War, this thin layer of metal played a critical role in espionage, shielding sensitive equipment from electromagnetic interference. Today, Canada is using it as a symbol in its trade standoff with the U.S., slapping up to 50% tariffs on hundreds of American goods. Among the targeted items are not just foils, but also dairy, wood products, and outdoor gear, goods that make up roughly $20 billion in U.S. annual imports. Canada's move mirrors U.S. tariffs on Canadian exports like cheese and lumber, deepening a conflict that threatens jobs and industries on both sides of the border. A recent report found that these tariffs could ripple through supply chains, affecting everything from American furniture to Canadian fish. As tensions rise, even the smallest items on the tariff list carry the weight of history and strategy. Beneath the surface of today's trade disputes lies a battle for dominance in quantum computing, a field poised to revolutionize global security. Canada's recent 50% tariffs on U.S. goods, including cosmetics and wood products, signal more than economic retaliation. They reflect a strategic shift towards securing control over cutting-edge technologies. A recent report found that quantum computing could break current encryption systems within a decade, making data security a new frontline in international competition. Take the U.S.-China rivalry. Both nations have poured billions into quantum research, with China already launching the world's first quantum satellite in 2016. As Canada aligns its trade policies with this high-stakes race, the stakes extend far beyond tariffs. They shape who controls the future of digital warfare and intelligence. This evolving landscape demands a deeper look into the global race for quantum supremacy. The U.S.-China tech rivalry has created a new geopolitical fault line, and Canada is caught in the middle, forced to choose sides. With Washington imposing tariffs on Canadian exports like wine, furniture, and dairy products, Ottawa responded by slapping up to 50% tariffs on $20 billion worth of U.S. goods, including aluminum foil, dishwashers, and even fishing rods. This tit-for-tat escalation reflects a broader struggle over supply chains, security, and influence. A recent report found that these tariffs threaten to disrupt decades of North American economic integration. Consider the dairy sector. Canada's retaliatory measures target key U.S. producers, signaling a shift in trade strategy under pressure from American policies. As tensions with China spill into the Western Hemisphere, Canada faces a delicate balancing act. Its decisions now will shape not just its economic future, but its geopolitical alignment. The next scene explores how global tech alliances are being redefined in real time. Modern espionage no longer requires spies in the field. It happens through software, algorithms, and supply chains. Consider Canada's recent move to impose up to 50% tariffs on U.S. goods. These levies, targeting everything from aluminum foil to dishwashers, reflect a broader strategy to counter economic influence that extends beyond traditional borders. A recent report found that these tariffs cover about $20 billion in annual U.S. imports, mirroring Washington's own duties on Canadian exports. This isn't just a trade dispute, it's a digital chess game where data and technology are the pawns. Take the 2023 report to Congress, which highlighted ongoing Chinese espionage activities in the U.S., emphasizing how modern threats are embedded in code and commerce. As nations weaponize trade and technology, the battlefield shifts from physical infiltration to virtual infiltration. This evolution reshapes how we think about security, setting the stage for the next scene on cyber vulnerabilities in critical infrastructure. Hockey sticks may seem like simple sports gear, but they are now caught in the crosshairs of a high-stakes trade conflict. Modern sticks use advanced carbon fiber composites, materials tightly controlled in global trade. A recent report found that U.S. tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum pushed up production costs for manufacturers, including those in the sports equipment sector. Canada's retaliatory tariffs, which target $20 billion in U.S. goods, include fishing rods and hockey gear. This isn't just about sports. It reflects broader tensions over export controls and supply chain dependencies. Take carbon fiber. Its production is concentrated in just a few countries, and export restrictions can ripple through industries worldwide. As tariffs escalate, even a hockey stick becomes a symbol of economic leverage. The next scene explores how industries are adapting to this shifting landscape. In 1971, President Nixon ended the Bretton Woods system, severing the U.S. dollar's link to gold and triggering a shift in global economic order. This move dismantled decades of post-war stability and ushered in floating exchange rates, reshaping trade dynamics. Today, Canada's decision to impose up to 50% tariffs on U.S. goods like aluminum, dairy, and outdoor equipment signals a potential new inflection point. A recent report found these tariffs target roughly $20 billion in annual U.S. imports, mirroring Washington's own duties. Consider the dairy sector, long a cornerstone of Canadian policy, now facing disruption as retaliatory measures take hold. This isn't just tit for tat, it's a realignment of economic leverage. As tariffs rise and dependencies shift, the echoes of 1971 may be louder than we realize. The next chapter of global trade could be written in steel, soybeans, and sovereign strategy. Tariffs are often framed as shields for local industries, but their consequences stretch far beyond factory walls. In 2023, Canada responded to U.S. tariffs by imposing retaliatory duties of up to 50% on $20 billion worth of American goods, including cosmetics, dairy, and outdoor gear. These measures aim to protect Canadian workers and producers, but come at a cost. A recent report found that such protectionist moves can raise consumer prices by as much as 15% for everyday items like dishwashers and aluminum foil. Global markets, too, feel the strain. When trade flows are disrupted, supply chains become unstable, and international trust erodes. Take the U.S.-Canada trade war as a case in point. Both sides ended up hurting their own economies while little progress was made. The ripple effects of tariffs highlight a paradox. The very tools meant to safeguard domestic industries can end up weakening the global economic system that supports them. As we turn to the long-term impacts of this trade tension, the question remains, who truly bears the cost? Economists are split over Canada's decision to retaliate with up to 50% tariffs on U.S. goods. A recent report found that these tariffs target around $20 billion in American imports, including cosmetics, dairy, and outdoor equipment. Some experts argue this is a necessary defense against Trump's aggressive trade policies, which have already hit Canadian exports like wine and furniture. Others, however, warn that such moves could trigger a new wave of economic nationalism, with countries prioritizing protectionism over cooperation. Take the dairy sector, already under strain from U.S. tariffs. Canadian farmers now face an uncertain future as retaliatory measures escalate. Meanwhile, industries like aluminum and seafood are being hit on both sides of the border, creating ripple effects across supply chains. While Ottawa claims the tariffs will protect workers and producers, critics question whether the long-term costs outweigh the short-term gains. As tensions mount, the global economy watches closely. The next scene will explore how businesses are adapting to this shifting landscape. Canada's recent move to impose up to 50% tariffs on U.S. goods is more than just a response to Trump-era policies. It signals a shift in how nations are using trade as a tool of strategy and power. A recent report from the U.S. government found that Chinese espionage activities have continued unabated, with 2023 marking another year of aggressive state-backed data theft and intellectual property violations. This has pushed countries like Canada to rethink their economic alliances, not just in terms of goods, but in terms of security. Consider the scope. Tariffs now cover $20 billion in U.S. imports, from cosmetics to outdoor gear, signaling a broader alignment with U.S. tech and trade concerns. Look at the wood products sector, long a point of contention, now caught in a web of geopolitical tension. These tariffs are not just about economics, they're about control. As global supply chains become more fragile, the line between commerce and conflict blurs, setting the stage for a new era of geoeconomics. Stakes in global trade are rising as Canada responds to U.S. tariffs with levies of up to 50% on $20 billion worth of American goods, from cosmetics to dairy. A recent report found that these duties target key U.S. industries, signaling a shift in how nations balance economic ties with strategic competition. Consider the impact on aluminum foil and dishwashers, goods that now carry the weight of geopolitical tension. As tensions mount, the challenge lies in maintaining cooperation while safeguarding national interests. This balancing act shapes not just trade, but the future of international relations. If you're as curious about these dynamics as I am, hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop. And don't forget to check the description for sources that back up what you've just learned.